Alright, I'm back. So you guys are probably wondering where the Zachary Brown broadcast has been for like the last month. No, you haven't. Nobody watches or listens to the Zachary Brown broadcast. Um, it's been a little. It's been fuck. How many weeks has it been? One, two, three, four, five, six. About 6 weeks since the last episode. All right, and I think I said in the last episode I wouldn't know. I didn't watch it. Um, or like re-listen to it or anything. Is like I'd get more like frequent with my like recordings and stuff, but I haven't. And the reason for that is I actually did get really I had a bunch of recordings done. I had like 17 recordings done. That's right, 17. And uh I had them on my computer. I had them on my hard drive. And then I went into the to go pick up my secret stash of Saudi money, and that ship was mined in the Strait of Hormuz, and now they're all gone. So yeah, and I just got the news today, and so yep, that's the reason why. That is absolutely the reason why there has been no Zachary Brown broadcast. Anyway, did you know that fish can't get boners? That's a pretty funny fact that I learned. They don't get boners. Could say the same thing about me. Anyway, let's talk about racing. Um, so IndyCar, there's been a lot that happened. Actually, let's talk Formula One because absolutely nothing has happened in Formula One. Um, so uh, there's been one race. That's right, one race in the 6 weeks. Jesus Christ, my little thing covered the entire break. Oh, okay, we'll just ignore that. Um, yep. We'll ignore that. We'll ignore that. So the what was he talking about? Oh yeah, Formula One. They had the race in Miami, and I don't really want to talk about it because I'm a Ferrari fan, and Ferrari fucked up the strategy. Can I let's go to the bingo card. Let's go to the bingo card. I'm sure I have that on the bingo card. Um, I almost completely forgot about the bingo card. I'm gonna be real with you. I forgot about the bingo card. All right. All right. Here we go. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Actually, do you know what? Max Verstappen leaves Formula One, perhaps, because this weekend, I believe, is the 24 hours of Nürburgring. Is it this weekend or is it next weekend? I know it's sold out, probably because all the Verstappen fans are. It is this weekend. Wait, so if that is the case, if it is this weekend, then what's the We're not gonna have that awesome triple header that we did in June of last year with the Nurburgring, Le Mans, and Spa. Not that any driver would put themselves through that. So Max Verstappen, we won't cross that off yet. Leclerc hasn't won yet. Piastri not right. Innovation gets banned bonus point because of its Red Bull. Funny story, not really funny because I'm a Ferrari fan and this really fucking hurts. I thought that the little flippy wing, the Macarena wing, would be banned by the FIA. And I thought that Red Bull would put in a thing saying that it was unsafe, but Red Bull actually showed up to Miami with their own little Macarena wing, and it everyone says it's better because it opens up bigger. Um, have we had a Fernando Alonso radio crash out? I feel. I don't think so. Colton Herta replaces Bottas for 2027. Verstappen will not be a World Drivers' Championship contender. The only reason that I will not cross that one off yet is because, I would be saying the exact same thing in the case of, like, McLaren last year, and then they imploded. I'm not going to say that Mercedes is going to implode, but I'm going to talk for the next 15 minutes on how they might. VCarb goes back to being ass. Where are they in the constructor standings? Where do they finish before? I think they finished P5. No, they finished P6. So if they're currently P6 or lower, or if they're lower than P6, then... Do you know what? I'll let them. Because they technically are P7, but it's really close. They're in P7 with 14 points. Haas is in P6 with 18 points. And in P8 behind Racing Bulls is Williams with 5. Go Williams. So because they're in the double digits, I'll give them that. So Madrid hasn't happened yet. That hasn't happened yet. Okay, so yeah, literally nothing gets crossed off on the bingo card. Glad to know that I don't know what I was expecting. It was literally one fucking race over 6 weeks. All right. Do you know what? Before we talk IndyCar, because there is a lot to talk about IndyCar, let's talk Formula 1. Because it's either this upcoming Grand Prix, the Canadian Grand Prix, which I probably will not be watching because it is the same day as the Indy 500, and the Indy 500 is it's way above on my list of priorities than the Canadian Grand Prix. I am sorry, Montreal. Maybe build a better track. Maybe have a better race. I'm not saying that the race isn't entertaining, but it's not Indy 500 entertaining. You know what I'm saying? All right, anyway, I'm getting off track. So, I believe it's either the Canadian Grand Prix or I think, is Monaco after the Canadian Grand Prix? I think Monaco is after the Canadian Grand Prix. It's either this upcoming Grand Prix or the one after it. The compression ratio thing is going to go away, i.e. the gnomes. And I think that's really interesting because right now Mercedes is just absolutely fucking dominating. They've won every single race on the calendar. I was about to say except for, because I normally say except for, but no, they've won every single race on the calendar. Kimi Talabantinelli is he hasn't really. I said that the other day to someone, and they're like, "Oh, why do you call him Talabantinelli? He's really improved." And it's like, yeah, it's like it's not like he can run into anybody when he's like 20 seconds ahead. So yeah, you have George Russell, who's a fraud, Osama Fraud Russell, and you also have, I mean, he's the only other person that's won, so that's it, really. I still have hope for Ferrari though, and this is why. Because the compression ratio trick will be lost, which means that there are 3 outcomes here. All right, the first outcome is all right. God, fuck, I sound like a schizophrenic, don't I? All right, so you have to understand the customer teams, right? So McLaren and Alpine. Notice how I left Williams out of there. Do you know what? No, I'll include Williams. No, I won't include Williams because their car is fucking overweight. All right, their car. I can't say that. I can't fucking say that. That compared, I have like a limit of what I do. I have a limit. I have a lot of things I'm gonna be saying later in the episode. So, But yeah, their car is massively overweight, and it needs to like start cutting on its carbs. I heard that if you bloodlet, that's a good way to lose weight. Like bloodletting, you know how they did that? Like in medieval times, they believed that your blood would be cursed, like if you were sick. And so what they would do is they would take a knife, like a rusty ass knife, and cut open your arm or your stomach or your wherever you could have like a tummy ache and go and be like, I got a tummy ache, my stomach hurts, I threw up, and they would slice your fucking stomach open and let you bleed out all over the table, and then they would fill you with like some other dude's blood. I don't know how they got the blood, but they'd fill you with that blood, and the idea that they're getting the sick blood out and putting like good blood in. I heard that's a good way to reduce weight if you bloodlet. What is it? Is it 75? Is it 73%? How much of body is water? It's 60 to 70% water, so it won't give me a fucking number. That's what the how much of body is water weight? So yeah, I mean, if you blood is just like sour Gatorade basically, and so if you do that, and water's basically just not cool Gatorade. So if you see what I'm getting at here, like I shouldn't have to do this much explaining. I you know I think people get what I'm saying here. People get what I'm saying. If they don't if they don't understand, they don't deserve to watch the Zachary Brown broadcast. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, what we're talking about, Mercedes F1 customer teams. So I'm not sure if McLaren have figured out the funny engine trick like Mercedes has yet, even though they have the same engine. I don't think Mercedes is just going, hey, rival Formula One teams, this is how you get the most out of my engine. But they may have figured out. Some teams may have figured out. Some teams may not. So this is what I think will happen. The first choice is nothing ever happens. Always bet on nothing. Um, and Mercedes continues to dominate in just in dominance, like utter dominance, like 2015 dominance. They're really dominant. They're a really dominant Formula One team. They're really dominant. That's not going to be the only Trump impression I'm doing on this broadcast. Don't worry. Um, and so yeah, option one, nothing happens. Option two is that something happens, but like not to Mercedes. Like Mercedes will still fuck, I just hit the mic. Um, Mercedes will still have a dominant car, but it just won't. Instead of winning by like 20 seconds, they'll win by like 10 seconds. But the midfield will get a little bit more exciting because the cars will be like the Alpine and stuff will be fighting each other more. The third option is that Mercedes absolutely lose it because that, and then we have a three-way battle for the championship between Ferrari. Please let me be delusional in this. Between Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes, which I think Ferrari would win. Please let me be delusional in this. Okay, have I talked Formula One enough yet? Let's see. We're at 15 minutes. Do I want to make this an emergency? I can't make this an emergency broadcast without a. Okay, let's talk IndyCar for a second because IndyCar has done some funny things since we last saw, or since I last spoke. If I open up the calendar here, I'm just going to open up the calendar to see how many races I missed. Okay, so I covered Barber. I did not cover Long Beach. I did cover. Okay, I did. All right. So we had Long Beach. Goated race, by the way. Um, and by goated race, I mean it wasn't as boring as it normally is. Long Beach is kind of the IndyCar equivalent to Monaco. Um, they've been racing there. I think it's the longest standing track on the IndyCar calendar, other than Indianapolis. But Long Beach, it's a cool track. It's a cool track. I've been to Long Beach, not when it was configured as a track, but like the sidewalks, they still have like the curbing on them and stuff for the track, so that's pretty cool. I got a picture, next to it. Alex Palou won it because of course he did. Christian Lundgaard won the Indy Grand Prix, not the Indy 500, the Indy Grand Prix. This is basically the boner pill that they take before they start Indy 500 festivities. They race on the Indy Road Course, which was designed for Formula One. Please, Formula One, if you're going to add more United States races to the calendar, stop adding street circuits and add Indy Road Course, all right? Because some people may disagree with me here, but that is actually. I would actually love to see the current generation of Formula One car on Indy Road Course with like the current tire and stuff. That'd be awesome. All right. Christian Lundgaard won it. David Malukas got fucked. What the reason I'm bringing this up? Because something very interesting happened, and that was Alexander Rossi. All right, Alexander Rossi's hybrid unit, whatever the fuck it's called, failed while he was on the front stretch of the track. And so, oh shit, I didn't even realize that. Dude, I'm officially a maker and fixer. No, I'm not. I just saw what the name was for the first race at Milwaukee, and it was the Snap-on Makers and Fixers 250, followed by the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250, which we end at Laguna. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. All right. So his car shits on the line, and they don't do anything. And by don't do anything, I mean they threw out a local yellow, but nothing else. And so, like, what ended up happening was that you had cars going like 180, 170, 180 by his broken down car while he was trying to get out. And then he went on, and he basically just went on a tear. He was not happy at all, as you can imagine. Let's see if I can find the interview. I found it. These fucking assholes. I thought I did. So they are actively censoring. All right, you hear? I'm reporting on this first. This is a Zachary Brown broadcast special report. All right. They are actively censoring it. All right. I cannot find any information on the YouTube about it. And the video that I had before did have it, and now it doesn't. Fox Sports has edited that segment out. Basically, what he says is that a part on the car failed that none of the drivers wanted, and that doesn't improve the racing. And then and then he also went on to talk about how what did he talk about? So he talked about how it didn't improve the racing, and then he talked about how IndyCar were a bunch of hypocrites because they wouldn't let them qualify in the rain the previous day, but they're willing to let the car go like 180 past his broken car, which is pretty not cool if you ask me. If I was at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I would point there and go, that's not cool. But yeah, that's it. And then do you I'm about to open up a I'm about to set off a massive truth nuke here, all right? That's what the massive sigh was for. Um because this truth nuke is going to be a lot. Um do you know what? I will open the truth nuke here, all right? So there's been a lot of talk about um various countries. Honestly, some of them are run like companies, and how some of them have influence over other countries. Um, I don't I don't believe in any of that. All right. As a matter of fact, I don't believe any one country is controlling a different country, and let me tell you why. All right. All I hear is like China this, Israel that, Donald Trump this. And do you know what? Do you know what the real fucking problem is? Do you know who's really making the decisions in our life? It's kids with leukemia. All right? And I'll fucking explain why. It's these fucking kids with leukemia going around with their bald heads going, give us money, give us money. You think the Jews want money? How? Wait until you see how much money these leukemia like research facilities make. That's like nothing compared. Like the entire like the money that we give to Israel is like nothing compared to what these like research places make. All right? And on top of that, like I've gone out into the street before. Like I've seen people go out into the street like in Phoenix, like holding signs like anti-Israel or anti-Trump, right? And they have not been like curb stomped, at least not yet. Um, the like you can't do that with kids with leukemia. If I go out into the middle of the street and go, "Hey, guys, I fucking hate kids with leukemia. They control the world, and I think we should strap them all to train tracks and let a steam locomotive roll." I'm literally just looking at fucking like items like on my desk. I literally have a notepad that just has like a bunch of random items written down on it. And one of them is steam locomotive. The next one is can opener. um Dude, do you know what? Yeah, we'll use can openers. I want to use a can opener on a toddler with leukemia and then strap it to the tracks while a steam locomotive at full speed runs over them. They're not society's not going to take that well. Society. It's all these kids with fucking leukemia. Sorry if I'm talking a bit quietly. I have a bit of a thing in my throat. Not like that. That's more of a morning routine for me, actually. Um, no, so what else happened? Rest in peace, Alec Thomas. He went to the Dodgers, so despite him getting like literally one of the greatest moments ever in the history of Arizona sports, and me being there to witness it, I now have to hate him because he's on the Dodgers and fuck the Dodgers. Um, it's May. It's officially May. We had some Indy 500 practice. Um, do you think? Um, do you know what? I'll send you guys out with a question. All right. Do you think that kids with leukemia should pay more money, like tax wise? I'm going way too fucking far on this, dude. It's all these damn kids with leukemia. It's all these kids with leukemia. I love leukemia. People, they come up to me, they say, it's a very fun word to say, leukemia. I can't even do the Trump right because of the thing in my throat. Pause. What else is there to talk about? What are we? Nothing. All right. In closing, it's May. I got this over 25 minutes, so I can technically count it as a Zachary Brown broadcast. Um, fucking bye, I guess. Fuck you. I'll see you in another 6 weeks.